WhatsApp, Venmo, Groupon, Uber, Slack, Airbnb. What do all these businesses have in common? They were started in the last recession by men who became millionaires and some billionaires. How would you feel if I said your yearly income can become your monthly income? If I said you could be in the top 1 to 5% of wealth earners in your country? That feeling of disbelief and skepticism you have right now is what's stopping you from being all you were created to be and having all you want. Bob Proctor is about to show you how to change disbelief into genuine belief and excitement about the change which is about to happen in your life. If you get this, you may be the next recession millionaire or even possibly billionaire. Let's go right to Bob.
You know, I went through how the conscious mind works, how the subconscious, and how the body is an expression of the mind. And as you go through that, if you go through it a few times, you're going to see, yeah, that's exactly what happens. Now, I want you to think of this for a moment. When you impress an idea upon your subconscious mind, that alters the vibration of this instrument we call our body. See, our body is a molecular structure. Really what it is. It's a mass of energy in a very high speed of vibration. Now, we invented a word to describe our conscious awareness of vibration, and that word is feeling. If you ask a person, you know, how are you today? They'll say, well, I'm feeling fine, or I don't feel that good, I feel great. You never hear a person say, oh, I'm consciously aware of being emotionally involved with a negative idea, so therefore I've moved into a negative vibration. But that's exactly what happens. So, you see, as we start to understand this, and we become aware that we're not feeling too good, we can change it. Now, it takes a little training, but you can do it. We are really in charge of how we feel. Now, we let other people upset us, but we don't have to let other people upset us. We don't need to react to them. We can respond. We can listen to what they're saying, and they say, well, you're entitled to your opinion, but that's just not what I'm like. And we can hold our own idea of ourselves. You see, it's important that we grasp how the mind works and that we understand the relationship of the body to the mind and the mind to the body. Now, it's our results that we want to change. Now, our results could be in our physical body. It may want to be, you may want to cast off a few pounds. You may want to put on a couple of pounds. You may want to have a little higher energy. See, all the energy there ever was or ever will be is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. Everything's energy. You know, you'll hear people say, where does he get all the energy? Where does she get all the... Nobody gets energy. Everybody releases energy. Desire is the triggering mechanism that lets the energy flow. Now, let's go back and have a quick review. Here you've got the little stick person here. There you've got the conscious mind, and remember, you have the sensory factors hooked up to the conscious mind. And then you have the subconscious mind, and then you have the body. Now, the conscious mind has the ability to choose thoughts. Those thoughts turn into pictures. We turn the pictures over to the subconscious mind, and then the subconscious mind expresses the action. All right? Now, what is the problem? Remember, we said the subconscious mind had no ability to reject. We said the subconscious mind cannot differentiate between what's real and what's imagined. How did we arrive on the scene? I'll tell you. When you arrived on the scene, you did not have any conscious faculties developed. The sensory factors weren't even developed. This is how you arrived. That's called the little life. That's the baby. No conscious mind. So there's the subconscious mind. It's wide open. You can put anything in it. You see, your subconscious mind is programmed genetically. That's why we look like our relatives. It's built right into the genes at birth. But then we're programmed environmentally. Carl Mendinger from the Mendinger Foundation in Topeka one time said, environment is more important than heredity. Why do you think you speak the language you speak? You speak that language because you were surrounded by people that speak that language in your little life. And the language just went right into the subconscious mind. If you grew up in a home that was bilingual, you learned both languages. I had an associate over in Kuala Lumpur, had a little boy, he spoke 4 languages at 4 years of age. And you'd look at that and you'd say, my gosh. No. The baby was programmed. Why do you like the food you like? It's programming. That's right. Now, let's stop and think about the environment we were raised in. Here's the baby, and look at the ideas and the thoughts and the concepts that are going on around that baby are going right into that baby's subconscious mind. Now, through repetition, over and over and over again, and remember, the baby's getting it all day, all week, every week, all month, every month, all year, and this goes on for 4 or 5 years. And the baby reaches the age of 4 or 5 where they can start to think that baby's programmed. That baby is programmed to think like the people it had been surrounded by. If the people that surrounded that baby had gone right through school, the baby will probably grow up and go right through school. If the people that were surrounding that baby always lived in hard times, never had any money, always in debt, that's probably how that baby's going to grow up. Now this is bizarre, but this is how it happens. It's how it happens for me. I was raised during a depression. We didn't have any money. There was always talk about no money. You should be satisfied with what you've got. Well, that's not true. You should never be satisfied with what you've got. You should be happy with what you've got. Dissatisfaction is actually a creative state. So here we have now a baby that has been programmed. Now, let's take and think for a moment. What happens when that baby starts to think for itself? Now think of this. The paradigm controls the vibration controls the action which produces the result. Now here we go. Here you got the baby with the paradigm and the conscious faculties have developed. They have the ability to think. There's a power flowing into them. What are they going to think? They're going to think thoughts that are in harmony with that paradigm. That's right. We've been raised to believe you go to work to earn money. Do you know that working is the very worst way to earn money? That's right. You should go to work for satisfaction, not for money. You provide service for money. You can earn money while you're sleeping. In fact, we have programs where we teach people to actually earn more money while they're sleeping than they'll ever need to use while they're awake. You say, well, that's a pipe dream. No. That's a paradigm that causes you to think that's a pipe dream. There's people doing that are nowhere near as bright as you. But here we are now. We've got the person. They've been programmed in their little life genetically and environmentally. That paradigm is nothing but a multitude of habits. A habit is an idea that's been programmed into the subconscious mind over and over and over again. Now, the paradigm is literally controlling the behavior. Consciously, you can think of one thing, but subconsciously, the other idea will be controlling you. See, we can sit down and we can read these self-help books, we can listen to the recordings, we say, yeah, well, I can do that. That makes sense. That's logical. But then we can't do it. Why? Now think of this for a moment. I want you to imagine that you're going to accept an idea right now to turn your annual income to a monthly income. You say, well, I'd like that. But will you do it? Probably not. Your paradigm will stop you. See, your paradigm literally controls the results. Now, let's think of how the paradigm was formed. The paradigm was formed through repetition. The ideas being planted in your subconscious mind. Now, understand your paradigm dictates your logic. Your paradigm controls how you utilize your time. Your paradigm controls your perception of situations. Your paradigm controls your effectiveness. Your paradigm controls the amount of money you earn. If you want to change your life, you must change your paradigm. You see, to most people, it's illogical that they could take and turn their annual income to a monthly income. When the paradigms change, your life changes. It's a beautiful concept. It's an absolutely phenomenal concept. Now you know why you're getting the results you're getting. It has nothing to do with your intellect. Your intellect, you can figure out how to do things. That doesn't mean you're going to do them. You'll hear people say, I believe that, but their behavior would indicate they've never even heard of it. Why? We believe something on a conscious level. On a subconscious level, the paradigm believes something else. There's a word called praxis. Praxis is the integration of belief with behavior. We've got to take the beliefs that we have consciously, that we determine by thinking, and plant them in the place of the old belief. See, I used to believe that I couldn't do anything better than I was doing. I felt fortunate that I was on the fire department. The idea of building a company that operated all around the world, furthest thing from my mind. But you know something? As I changed my paradigm, my whole world changed. That's what we do. That's what it's all about. You've got to change your paradigm if you want to change your life. Now you can study all you want. If you don't gain an understanding how to alter that program, and that's what the paradigm is, it's a program. It's a multitude of concepts that are fixed in your subconscious mind that literally control your behavior. It's a beautiful concept to understand. It's a terrible one if you don't understand it, because it literally controls your life. Why do you think most people go right through their life and keep getting the same results year after year after year? Well, it's just the way it is, and they don't know. We should be taught this in school, but we're not. How is the paradigm formed? Through the repetition of information. How's the paradigm changed? Repetition of information. Now let's suppose you're having a difficult time with money. You find that you got more going out than coming in. You've got to change your concept about money. How do you do that? Through the repetition of an idea. That's where affirmations comes in. I'll give you one I've been using for years. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. You don't just say that once or twice. You've got to repeat that maybe 1,000 times a day, every day for maybe 90 days. And you'll start to change your whole concept about money. Wealthy people all have multiple sources of income. Now I'm going to tell you what happened to me. I drove around with a battery-operated record player and a long-playing record. And I played it over and over again every day for probably a couple of years. This was so totally illogical. It was behavior. Everybody thought I was losing it. And I'm reading the same book every day, Think and Grow Rich. As a matter of fact, I'm still reading the same book. And it was the repetition of Earl Nightingale's information and the book that changed the paradigm. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand what I was doing, but I did it.
What did we learn? Your paradigm controls everything about you. What is a paradigm? It is a collection of your beliefs, thoughts, and concepts that you developed from the influence of significant others like parents, teachers, authority figures, and the environment around you. Paradigms are formed by repetitious thought that enters the subconscious. If you heard growing up that every winter we catch a cold, and you repeated that thought in your head over 10 years of growing up, guess what? Every winter you will catch a cold because you programmed your subconscious. What would happen though if we change the thoughts we put in our subconscious? Our action steps. Number 1, make the conscious decision that you want to change your paradigm. Everything starts with a decision. Number 2, develop a picture of what you want. You will do this through a word picture and actual pictures. Let me give you a real life example from the last recession. Many years ago, when my children were young, our family outgrew the house we were in. I developed an affirmation which read, I believe I receive a house 3,500 square feet or more on 1/3 to 1/2 acre of land that meets the needs of my entire family. I then got pictures of the type of homes I envisioned out of magazines and off the internet and put them on my vision board. I took a picture of my vision board and had it in my phone. Every morning when I got up, I read that affirmation out loud while looking at the pictures on my vision board. Then I closed my eyes and started seeing myself walking through that house. During the day in my office, as many times as I could, but always at lunchtime, I would read that affirmation while looking at the pictures in my phone. Then I closed my eyes and imagined myself walking through that house. At night, before I went to bed, I read that affirmation, looked at the pictures on my vision board, and then closed my eyes and started seeing myself walking through that house. On Sundays, I would take my family to very expensive neighborhoods where homes were under construction, and we would walk through those homes. Everyone would pretend what room was their room in those homes. They would get excited about, hey, I would put this table here and I would do this over there and I would play my games here. Something amazing started happening. I wasn't the only one getting excited. The entire family was now getting excited, and their paradigms were changing along with mine. At the office, I started coming up with ideas on how I can increase my income. At the time, I had 50 clients. I came up with a way to have 300 clients. You see, my affirmation and the pictures led me from not thinking it was possible to being excited and seeing myself already in the house before I had the house. Then the good feelings inspired creativity of how I could go from 50 clients to 300 clients, which allowed me to be able to afford the home at the time. 9 months later, I was walking in the neighborhood I wanted to move in, and something said, knock on that door and ask if he wants to sell his house. I've learned to trust my inner voice, so I did. I knocked on the door and I told the man, this may sound crazy, but would you like to sell your house? He looked shocked and said, just a minute. He walked back into the home and then came back to the front door with this big sign. And he said, I was about to put the sign of the realtor company in the yard later this afternoon. How could you know that I was about to sell this house? I ended up buying that home for a great price. This is just one of many things I've wanted over the years, and I got by changing my paradigm. Use my example to tailor your own affirmation, visualization, and action plans, and you too will get whatever you want. Thanks for listening and watching. Share this video with someone you care about. Help us inspire 1 million people to get past their give-up point and win with these lessons of inspiration and information. Click the like and subscribe buttons. Also click the bell icon so you are notified of new content. We appreciate you for supporting us with super thanks on your favorite videos. Your donations help us to hire more staff so we can produce more videos reaching more people around the world. Again, thank you from the bottom of our heart. If you need resources such as books, programs, and etc. to assist you in your journey, check out the links below. I'm sure there is something that will help you. Now, here are a few more videos that will definitely inspire you to win.